very easily. That officer who was here earlier, I don't even remember his name now.
I think Officer McDouche. You don't
You
get
don't
their
like
name
him?
and badge number?
I try to.
That's the first
He
thing.
gave me his card. I have his card in one of my pockets. A lot of times they refuse to let me have their card.
They don't have to give you a card.
They have to give you your name and badge number. The other thing is, if you're not recording it, you might not remember it. If you don't have a pen handy, you might not remember it. A lot of times I've had pens handy. The reason I don't carry a pen handy is because I've had them threaten to, well, I've had them put their hands on their guns because I had a pen and say, put the weapon down. Like, I got a pen so I can write this shit down. So, I mean, there's a lot of these things that are recorded on my YouTube channel, me being bullied and harassed by police.
Well, it gave you a nice notepad anyways, huh?
Yeah, I got that. The thing is, I still need somebody to go with me to a mandated reporter and explain the safety issue that I'm having over the Natalie thing. After watching that, you'll realize why so many people hate me. But also, you're going to have problems understanding why it is that I'm still being abused and why I'm all the way in Tillamook. What I'm dealing with in Tillamook, I had to deal with in Boulder, Colorado. I had to deal with it in Bristol, Tennessee. I had to deal with it in Chapel, Nebraska, in Sidney, Nebraska. I had to deal with it in Rapid City, South Dakota. I had to deal with it in Bozeman, Montana, and Glatton Gateway, Montana. I had to deal with it in
So what do you
Billings,
think about
Montana.
North Dakota? You ever been there?
I have.
What do you think about North Dakota?
There's a lot of sand and a lot of rats. Those rats are really fucking big, and I don't know how it is that I can walk on sand that collapses under my feet, but somehow them rats are able to burrow in the shit.
You like that? Like, is it a pretty country or what?
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Most of it's
Amanda's
wind
getting
eaten
ready
and
to
half
leave
dead.
out there.
That sucks because she could be useful if she was to go in with me and help turn this stuff in. She knows some of the places and agencies. She also knows me. The thing about you knowing me and interacting with me as much as you can, or as much as you have, is that at least you were able to, verify more than once that I'm not schizophrenic. Multiple other people in town who know schizophrenic people verify it too. I'm scared,
Do you know who Doug Beeler is?
No,
Never heard his name?
I don't think so.
So Tillamook Counseling Center has this program called Peer Support.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Doug listens to people. And he's a mandatory reporter.
They're all mandatory reporters. The problem is that they're not.
Doug will probably listen to him.
Well, would you go up with me and explain that it's an emergency and that I need to talk to Doug with me? Because if I do it alone, I'll get blown off. I don't get past the front desk. I've been up there multiple times. I've filled out their paperwork. I've got an appointment there on the 25th of this month, but mandated reporting is right away. I have that recorded too. I told them all of the things that you're supposed to tell them for them to legally have to do their job at that very moment, and they still didn't listen. Sorry, go ahead. Without a friend or family member, they won't do it. That is literally the only thing that works. I have my paperwork in the car.
Tomorrow I'll stop by here.
All right, I'll show you my paperwork tomorrow.
Tillamook Family Counseling, they, because of your confidentiality, I'm not going to be able to speak to them.
You can. That's the point of being an at-risk and disabled adult. When I turn something in, because it is so easy to railroad me and take advantage of me, because I feel safe having somebody there to hear what they say to me so that it is verified, so that there is a witness, so that they're less likely to do their jobs if nobody goes in with you at all. If somebody goes in with you, it shows that somebody cares. And if somebody cares, there might be consequences for them if they break the law. If nobody cares, then nobody cares if they break the law. Nobody cares if the cops don't do their jobs. Nobody cares if TFCC doesn't do their jobs. And as far as getting a hold of that Doug guy, Well, somebody would have to go in with me to explain that that is the guy that you trust, and that's why I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah.
That this is what has been instructed for me to do, that I have already followed all of the instructions by the police, and literally the only things they'll tell me to do now is things they know I'm not capable of, and they're taking advantage of that heavy. But
Where's the signs that say you can't sleep in the parking lot?
they're on the posts.
So
Not
as
all
long
of
as you
them.
stay away from the posts, you can deny.
See, that's kind of like the DA's office telling me to call 911, and then the officer threatening to arrest me for calling 911.
Yeah.
Like, whose fucking job is it? All right, it's somebody's job to investigate this. If somebody goes in with me and is informed, you are obviously informed on what mandated reporting is, and whether or not they do it the redneck way or not, I have the power of the interwebs, and I record everything. And if somebody goes in with me and explains to them that there is actually a safety issue, and that it does affect the people of Tillamook, and that not listening to me results in more danger against the people of Tillamook, that I can't just simply pack up and move on. It is too expensive to do that. The longer that it goes without them helping to get this evidence turned in, doing their jobs as mandated reporters to work together with the victim instead of against the victim. And that's all they're doing now, is going out of their way to work against me, to make sure that I don't have the resources to turn in my predators, to make sure that I'm separated from my friends and family members, to make sure that there are long periods of time in between when I see these mandated reporters where they pretend that they can't see me. When a crime is committed against me today and I have to wait to see a therapist in 30 days, who's going to tell me what? Well, that depends on the therapist, which is why it's a good thing I recorded all of them too. Yeah, I'm
Recording's
smart.
a good way.
Yeah, that's how I was able to get the evidence that I'm not schizophrenic, not delusional, that I'm not psychotic, that I'm not bipolar. And that one might scare you, but it's situational.
I ain't scared of. I'm scared of one thing.
Your
What
own
is it?
thoughts?
No.
What?
What am I scared of?
I don't know, and I don't care. I'm not going to use it against you
There's
unless you
one
tell
thing
me.
I'm scared of. Snakes.
Well, don't get on a plane with Samuel L. Jackson.
My stepdad had an 11-foot Burmese python, and he used to put me in its cage when my mom wasn't home.
Here's one for you. All right, one of the examples that I use. All right, when I tell people things that make me suicidal because they're that scary to me, they, in many cases, are things that denote that a person doesn't care and is going to let people hurt me whenever they want. But let's say someone says, hey, if you dangle a spider in front of me, I am so afraid of spiders, I will literally jump off of a 10-story building to get away from it. And then you invite them up to a 10-story building with all of your friends because it's entertaining. You're having a party and it's a 10-story building. And he comes up to you and, well, for you, we'll use the example of a snake. All right. So you're up there, you're against the ledge, you're 10 stories up, you're just kind of hanging out with your buddies. It's a relaxed and chill kind of party. And your friend comes up to you and sticks a snake right in your face.
Well, I'm not going over, but friend and the snake off, because I'm number one.
You're also bigger than I am and more physically capable. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like
you know
they're literally trying to get you to commit suicide by doing something that they know is going to push you to suicide. They know that they can scare you into jumping off of the thing. And obviously with you, you're number one. I get that. But you get the reference that I'm making.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So yeah, with all of this, I need someone to go in with me. It is recorded on my YouTube channel for my safety and the safety of others. I did get to talk to the God, what is he? The reporter, Will Chappell, but I did have to talk to him alone. And like I said, I have communication issues. You got to hear me in there having extra communication issues because there was some stuff that I was trying to explain that was extremely scary, and you happened to ask the wrong questions at the wrong time. It's not that they're bad questions, it's that the part that I was explaining was a lot more important than your questions, and you were going to get lost if I didn't finish what I was saying and started just answering your questions. It makes it complicated, and it's already overly complicated. I'm gonna let you get home.
I'm gonna go home.
See, my Jedi mind tricks do work on you. You must not be a Doctarian. Or is it a Tigerian? I don't remember. It's something that has EN on the end of it. Oh. Sometimes I feel bad for myself because my last name is Schwartz. Just kidding. I could get stuck with a name like Ian Kopetsky. Ooh. All right, so you have one chance when an at-risk adult is being harmed. You have one chance to help them to turn it in right away. If you don't, the cops are not likely to do their jobs. They're likely to procrastinate and allow the predators to get away. They don't want to do their jobs. Unfortunately, that's what led to Natalie Bollinger's death, and that's why I cannot let this shit go. I'm not allowed. The consequences for me are great and ongoing. Chris finally sat down and listened to part of one of the Natalie Bollinger things. I gotta hope that the Oregon State Police, who I have to call next, will do their jobs. The Oregon State Police are an outside agency. I elected to go to outside agencies because I knew that these police, if they had forewarning, would commit felonies and retaliate against me for even trying. This is the reality of my life.